Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Tech Talk. Today we'll be solving a coding problem. So this coding problem that I have brought for you was asked to me in Amazon and Citrix interview. A friend of mine solved this problem in Apple coding round. So basically there is a reason for me to getting this problem for you. It is repeatedly asked and it's not very straightforward problem, but it's very simple if you get the idea of it. And like I already told in my first video that you are never asked a direct problem. You will be given a problem, a situation, and you will have to derive that what data structure or what technique or what algorithm you will be using to solve that problem. So I'll just help you finding out that how you even reach there. So just to give a brief that this problem is a variant of flood-fill algorithm, DFS, and there's a problem set all 0 pixels to 1 in the graph and finding number of islands in the graph. I will put links of all these 4 problems in the problem description here, but this problem that I was asked is little different from all these 4 problems. It's like a mix and match of all these 4 problems, I can say that. So let's try to understand the problem statement first. So what is the input? You're given an array of strings, that is a matrix. It represents a pixel graph. So what are the values in that graph? It can be either R or E. So R is the red pixel and E is the empty pixel. So now you're given an eraser tool, and whenever you click red pixel, it will erase all the horizontal and vertical red pixels along with it. So whenever you click one red pixels, all the rectangle formations or square formations, whatever connected horizontal and vertical pixels will be deleted. So the question is, how many times you need to click, how many times you need to click on the red pixel, or how many times you need to use the eraser tool in order to delete all the red pixels. So let's try and look at an example. So this is an example given. This is the input matrix that we receive and it has R and E, that is red pixel and empty pixel. Let's take a closer look. So this matrix can be written in the form of like more clear form is this. And if you see more closely, so these are all the red pixels and these are all the empty pixels. So whenever you click at one R, so what has to happen? All the horizontal and the vertical red pixel should be erased, and following this R, all the horizontal pixels should be erased. So all these pixels will be erased in one go. So the output here is 1. So we'll pick one eraser tool at once and all the neighboring horizontal and the vertical pixels will be erased. Now let's look at another example. This is the input matrix and a clearer form in the matrix. So now let's look at how it is. This is the form of a red pixel rectangle. This is one red pixel and this is how these red and empty pixels are located in this matrix. So what happens when we click either of these red pixels, we cannot move in diagonal direction. So the allowed direction is either horizontal or vertical. So we won't be able to erase these two red pixels together. So by using one eraser tool, we'll be able to erase this only, and then by clicking another one, we'll be able to erase this only, and then this. So we'll be needing three times this eraser tool to remove all these rectangles. So let's try and take a look at this matrix. So given any cell, if we pick any cell, say this cell is 1 1, we are allowed to move in all these 4 directions as we discussed. So from this cell, if we go up, then we hit the cell 0 1. If we go in the left direction, then we hit the cell 1 0. If we go in the right direction, we hit the cell 1 2. And if we go in the bottom direction, we hit the cell 2 1. So this is the base in what directions we move and how do we alter the cell number that is given as the input. So let's discuss it further. So if we are calling, so what we'll be doing here, we'll be calling DFS. So if visited of that row and column is not equals to true, or the value at that row and column is still red. Okay, so these will be the two conditions on which we will be calling this DFS function. So let's try to understand this in more detail. So we are clear that we'll be using DFS for this approach, and DFS you can go and read in more detail, but I'll just tell you a brief about it, that in DFS we start at a particular root node or any node that we take in, like here we are taking in these two conditions to start to call DFS, and what we keep, we go as deep as possible and we keep marking the nodes. So these are the two things we do, and if you're not able to go any further, like I already told that we'll go further on these conditions only, that if you're now finding the empty rows, then we'll just backtrack. So these are the three things that we usually do in the DFS function. So what we are keeping here, we're keeping here a visited matrix, and this matrix will initialized by false, and we'll hover over this matrix, we'll iterate over this matrix, and we'll see that if these two conditions are valid, then we'll call this DFS. And how many times we call this DFS function, like we go as deep as possible, we'll move in all these four directions, and we'll keep this counter that will tell us that how many times we call this DFS. That will be the actual count of the eraser tool that we have called. So let's try and take a look at this DFS function. So we are calling it at a row and a column which satisfies these two values, and we are even passing this visited. So we'll keep updating this visited matrix with whatever nodes that are visited. So now we'll do these two things. So we'll erase that particular cell and we'll mark the visited matrix for that particular cell as true. So now we are allowed to go in the four directions. So this particular code is for moving into the four directions. So what we have to do, so we'll talk about isSave in a minute. So what we'll do, we have to move in the four directions. So we'll add whatever rows. So say we have passed 1 1. Okay, so we'll pick -1 and 0. So to the 1 we'll add -1, and to the column we'll add 0. So this will make 0 and 1. So this will be our new cell that we'll be visiting. So it's corresponding to these four directions that I discussed, these rows. So from 1 1 we can either move to 0 1. So we'll be checking like if we can visit or not. Then in similar way, k is equals to 2. So we'll be picking these two things. So similarly we'll be adding 1 here, and to the column we'll be adding 1. So this is like 2 1. So we can move in bottom direction. Similarly this one is for the left direction and this is for the right direction. So using this static initialization, we are allowed to move in the four directions. So this is how we decide our directions. Now is like, what is this isSave? So say if we are picking this particular column, the allowed direction will be only up and right, and we cannot move in the left and the bottom. So if we from 3 0, if we want to move to the left, it will be 3 and -1. So this is not the allowed, this is not safe. It will give you out of bound exception. So in this isSave function we check that we are not hitting this out of bound exception and are visited for that particular row. So we cannot, so from here it does not make sense to move to E. So we'll be checking in this function that is still R. If it is R, then only we move. So what we are doing here is basically we are just moving from one node to another as deep as we can go, just like using DFS, and we backtrack when we are not allowed to move in any. So we'll be repeatedly calling this DFS, and we backtrack when we do not move further. So how many times we call this function is the number of times we use the eraser tool. So let's look at the function as well. So this is the DFS function that I explained, and let's look at this isSave function as well. So if we call this isSave function at particular row and column, we just check that there should be no out of bound exception, that the row should be greater than 0 and whatever number of rows are present, it should be less than that. Similarly for column, and similarly the metric should be R, definitely yes, and it should not be visited earlier as well. So this is, if this all is true, then we move ahead and call DFS again, otherwise we just backtrack. And if you look at main, we're just not doing anything, we're just initializing count by 0 and we are iterating over the matrix, and if that particular cell is not visited and the matrix or the graph is still R, then we call this DFS. And how many times we call DFS is the number of times we have to use the eraser tool. Because I just want to add one thing, so for this whole rectangle, they all will be marked E together, because at once, like, we'll be calling them again and again and they will be all marked E together. So one count here, one count here, and one count here. So with this, we solved an interesting coding problem that was asked in many interviews. If you have any questions related to this, please let me know in comment, or if you want me to solve any particular problem, then please let me know in your comments. Thanks. Let's meet in another video.